So we'll dedicate today's satsang to Swami Sri Yukteswar. It was his birthday, in fact 169th birthday on 10th of May. And we come to know of Swami Sri Yukteswar in Autobiography of a Yogi, and mainly when Yogananda ji meets him. And that was when Yogananda ji himself was 17 years of age in 1910, and Swami Sri Yukteswar was 55 years of age. And we do not know much about his earlier life, how he became Swami Sri Yukteswar. So today possibly we'll try and understand some of the stories associated with him of those times. So Swami Sri Yukteswar was born on 10th of May 1855 as Priyanath Karar to a wealthy merchant family, and he was the only child. At a very young age, his father passed away, and in fact at the age of 10 or 12 he was looking after the family estate and the businesses. But along with it, he was a very brilliant child. In fact, one of his disciples says that Sri Yukteswar says that in his maths exam, he doesn't remember ever scoring anything less than 100 out of 100. And he was a brilliant student, but more than a brilliant student, he was a seeker. He wanted to know the why and how of things. And this naturally led him to seek and meet the saints in and around where he was living. And he was living, he was born in a place called Sri Rampur, which is nowadays known as Serampur. Some of us would have gone there also. And it was in this place, whenever he came to know that any saint or any saintly person is passing through, he used to make it a point to go and sit at their feet, listen to the Vedanta and all the things they had to say. In fact, one of his earlier teachers, you can say, was a Sufi saint. She was a Sufi saint, and he used to spend quite some time with her. And since he studied in a Scottish college in Serampur, and so he had an influence of the Christian way of thinking also. And in fact, he discussed the finer aspects of the Bible with these priests. So what was happening was a broad base was being given to him. If you see, he was very much interested in Sanatan Dharma teachings, Vedic teachings. He was seeking in the Sufi way of life also, in the Christian way of life also, and he was a seeker. A lot of things coming together and making a potent combination. But what happens? He goes into college, and in one of the physics class, possibly it was, the professor, there's some concept the professor is teaching, which Priyanath at that time did not understand. So he started asking questions, 1, 2, 3, because he was trying to understand the concept, not what was written. And as happens in a lot of places, the professor got irritated and kind of ridiculed him and even kind of made fun of him. And at that moment, Sri Yukteswar decided, my education is done. I am not interested in degrees, I am interested in wisdom. So what he does, he goes to the principal of the college and says that I am not interested in any degree, but give me permission to sit in any class where I feel wisdom is flowing. And he's given that permission. So he goes and sits in a science class, in a medical class, learns about anatomy, about physiology, about psychology, and you name it. Wherever he feels, wisdom is flowing. But as you see, time is flying, and he gets married. He has a daughter. His wife passes away quite soon after marriage. The daughter is very small. However, by this time, the life's temperance is teaching Sri Yukteswar that there is more to life than what the external eye meets. And he starts seeking further. But there is no formal teaching he has. And in this seeking and searching, he becomes friends with a kind of a royalty of Srirampur, a family by the name of Goswamis, and who's minor royalty, kind of a local Raja of that place. And he decides, whenever he goes to this family, he feels something is happening and something good is there in these people. Whenever he's with them, he feels at peace, he feels attracted to them. But he's not able to make out what is happening. So he starts spending more time with them, and suddenly he realizes that suddenly in the middle of the day or in the evening, the family will say, please excuse us. They will go into a room, close the room, and come out of it after hour and a half, and again start behaving normally the way they were. So he's intrigued. What is happening here? He asks them. They don't answer anything. But Sri Yukteswar is a persistent person. So he keeps on meeting them, asking them, and finally they open up. Yeah, that what do you do inside that room? Well, he says, we do something called Kriya Yoga. And they have a guru name of Lahiri Mashaji. And the moment Sri Yukteswar hears this name, he doesn't waste a single day. He knows that he stays in Varanasi, and I'm sorry, I'll get a little. And he travels to Varanasi and goes at his feet. He's sitting in that foyer, in case you get a chance to go to Varanasi. And what does he do there? And he goes and bows at his feet, and the first sentence that is spoken by Lahiri Mashaji is, what took you so long? I was waiting. So that is the level of a guru. How much love exists, how he is calling out to you. But it didn't end here. In the sense, yes, he found his guru. He was given Kriya in his first meeting with his guru. He didn't have to go to these levels that we go through because the guru knew him, that he's in a very evolved soul. And he starts practicing Kriya. But he has this inquisitive mind, a scientific mind, and he's trained in the Vedic philosophy, and he's got Kriya Yoga. And this question starts coming in his mind. Why isn't the people in the West aware of this? They should be also made aware of this knowledge. And this thing keeps on flowing in his mind. And when this thing happens when he's 28 years of age, when he meets Sri Yukteswar, Lahiri Mashaji. And when he's 39 years of age, Lahiri Mashaji tells him, in 1894, you go to Kumbh Mela in Allahabad, in Prayagraj of today. And so he goes to the Kumbh Mela, and he sees the facade. People are doing what all, and he sees, what are these people doing? Where are the God-realized saints? And he's thinking of this thing when a young man comes to him and says that my guru is calling you underneath that tree. If you get a chance to go to that place, that tree is still there. It's a huge tree, and in fact, you will have to take permission before. It's right on the banks of Ganga, and so it's a beautiful place. You should go and meditate there. So when Sri Yukteswar goes there, and he doesn't know, but he meets Babaji for the first time, because Babaji has put a veil on him that he is not able to recognize him. And in that meeting, he tells that I understand what you're thinking of. I will send you a disciple whom you have to train for going to the West. And at this time, Yogananda ji is 1 year old. So that is how these saints work. And in the process, tells him that this similarity of the teachings needs to be known, and I would request you to write a book on this. And we know that book as the Holy Science. In fact, the first name he gave to that was Kaivalya Darshanam. And if you would be surprised, he actually wrote the first copy of it in French, and he gave it for the first reading to a French person who used to stay in Srirampur, and that person disappeared with the copy. and he wrote it again. And now today I'll touch on the two important teachings from this beautiful book. You must understand the level this goes to is, I don't know whether you have read this book, but it's first of all pitched at a very high level. However, as he's called the Gyan Avatar, according to him, he's gotten the lowest he could get to teach it to us. So, and like he says, as you would have understood now, and now that you have had the darshan, so I will tell you about a quote that he says about the stages of the heart, human heart. He says the spiritual development of a soul, every soul has to go through these 5 stages of the heart. Whether he be a saint, whether he be a sinner, everyone has to go through. And he says spiritual development is not about the powers, the siddhis, or whatever people can do. It's about these stages of the heart. So he describes these 5 stages, which I will also discuss, and all of us have gone through, will go through, or are going through either of these stages. Any and everyone we know will go through these stages. So let's start off with the first stage. He says is, the first stage is dark heart. A dark heart, he says, at the lower end is the evil people, that who are, at the people like Hitler and, Stalin and, Osama bin Laden and all. They are evil. But he says they are only a minuscule percentage. Maximum people in this dark stage are basically ignorant of a spiritual reality, that there is something within them which is more than what this meets this physical eye. And in that stage, most of us stay, and we see a lot of people. In fact, he says that you can use these stages and say, or assess yourself, and in fact come to know people around you. And he says that each and every one of us has to go through these stages. How does one overcome this stage? If you are lucky and you have the blessing of good karma, you will meet or come in a company of a great saint or a sage who will make you realize that there is much more to life. Otherwise, 99% of us go through intense suffering. And this is not the suffering of the types that I have a small niggle in my knee and a little bit of fever. It is like depression, chronic substance abuse, and those kind of things. And once a person goes through these stages and realizes that there has to be something more, life cannot be about this. There has to be something more, and then that is the time a person starts searching. In fact, he says, we all want to save our children from this, but we can't. They have to go through their profound suffering before they find their path and make it their own. So this is the way of it. And if one goes beyond this stage and he realizes, he goes to the second stage, which is called the propelled stage, in which we begin our seeking. We want to know the real nature of the universe. We read, go to lectures and talk to others. We say not this, not that, as we desperately look for truth. This is an essential prerequisite to the next stage. We must go through this stage, as God will not reveal his secrets unless the soul really wants to know. This urgent soul call goes out, Lord, I need help. We petition God and God answers. Anytime we have a desperate need, God answers. He communicates directly to you to let you know, I am here. There will be some kind of confirmation through intuition, a dream, and so on. So, the crisis, search, soul call, and confirmation. Now you get the Guru. No matter where you are, the Guru will find you. God responds to your soul call with the Guru. God determines your Guru. It is not easy to get this ticket. We have to prove that we are really serious, that we want God as the first priority of our life. And then we go to the third stage, once we found the Guru, is the steady heart. Now, it's not steady in the beginning. The propelled heart leads to a steady state of heart, but many fall off the path here. Why? Very strong karma. Temptation and barriers take them away. We have our own karmic script. Many fall away, but not forever. Once you have found your Guru, even if you leave him, maybe for a lifetime or many lifetimes, but he is there for you. So don't give up at this stage. He says so. The Guru makes promises to the latter part of the propelled stage. He says he will show us cosmic consciousness. And we will say that we will want to battle Maya. In this stage, service is awakened as a new motivation as you enter the steady state of heart. People are drawn to you because you are truly listening. The compassion of Christ is growing in you. In the steady state of the heart, you realize the most important relationship is between Guru and disciple. The most important lifestyle is sadhana. The most important action is Kriya Yoga. Swami Sri Yukteswar on the steady heart. If man continues in this baptized state, remaining immersed in the holy stream, he gradually comes to a pleasant state, wherein his heart wholly abandons the idea of the external world and becomes devoted to the internal one. And from here we graduate to the devoted heart, which is the fourth stage. We are so dependent on the outer world, we crave support, love, understanding from others. But this makes the environment stronger than our willpower. But in the devoted state of the heart, we transcend mortal dependencies. We get our needs met inside through the Guru-disciple relationship. If you tune in to the Guru, you will feel his vibrations. Meditate with your ecstasy-tuned Guru. Do Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga awakens you to his voice. Then in stillness, you will feel the vibrations in your head and spine. Concentrate on those vibrations with reverence. They grow and expand, giving comfort and extreme joy. Then you will recognize that your master is here, as he is the one manifesting these vibrations in your meditation. His presence goes before you. He is in cosmic consciousness in ecstasy ahead of you, calling you. He is there calling each one of us. Remember this. In the devoted state, the omnipresent Guru appears first in meditation, and then all the time you can feel his presence. And this leads to the final stage, the clean heart. The heart is purified. It is a source of light. You are fearless, loyal, faithful servant. I have nothing to say or ask, Lord, but I love you. That's how I judge the quality of my meditation. In this state, the Guru's work is done. Eventually, you become equal to the Guru. We can't imagine this, but this is the Guru's promise. All of us will go through these stages. And remember this, that knowing that this is what that awaits me and what I have already gone past. They are all not sacrosanct that this ends here and this starts here. There are certain things that are happening concurrently. But the main thing is you have to realize the call of Guru is there. Go deep within your spine and you will know for yourself his presence. Like it is said in that fourth stage, you will feel it. His presence within you. And that is what attunement with the Guru is all about. He will commune with you. He may not commune with you by coming in physical form in front of you, but through that vibration, through that prana, through that bliss within you, you will learn to commune with him. And then your life will change. you will realize that certain fears, certain insecurities will fall away, because there is a new reality that you have started living in, and that is our birthright. All of us sitting here have already found our Guru, which is the biggest blessing of any life. Now, the fourth and fifth stage remains. Do not waste this life, this opportunity. Remember, it is some great karma of many past lifetimes that has gotten you here. It is just not a fluke, it's just not a chance. Do not waste this time. While coming today, I was listening to a bhajan by Kabir Das, in which he says, Bhatkat bhatkat bhelyo hai, Manav janam gavayo re, and something like that. Lakh 84 mein bhatkat bhatkat. What does he say? Is that the human birth comes after lots of good karma. And in this human birth, the quest for God comes, is what Yogananda ji says, is actually you have crossed 90% of the births that you were supposed to go through. A human doesn't start seeking God till the time he is satiated with all the earthly pleasures and has done them many times and realized there has to be something more. It can't be this. But at that time, the karma will try and pull you away. So in this, another beautiful saying in this holy science, which Sri Yukteswar ji says of, which is telling us how to overcome our desires. Any desire. And you see, beautiful, it's a very practical hint. I will discuss it further. And he says, man enjoys a thing when he so desires. At the time of enjoyment, however, if he directs his organs of sense through which he enjoys towards the object of his desire, he can never be satisfied. And his desire increase in double force. I'll say that again. What he means to say is, for example, I'll give you the example of an ice cream. I love an ice cream. Now, what happens is, the moment an ice cream comes in front of me, I am seeing it, I am smelling it, I am going to taste it, touch it possibly. All these sense of organs are outwards. I will eat that ice cream, seeing and doing all that, and after eating the ice cream, I will feel, I need ice cream more. And this is how all our physical desires on planet Earth are made. The more you indulge in it, the more you want to do it. You might be temporarily satisfied, but then it returns with double force. And this is the way we get caught in Maya. Now he gives us the solution. The solution is, on the contrary, if he can direct his organs of sense inwards towards his self, at that time he can satisfy his heart immediately. Giving the same example, what he means to say is that if the ice cream comes in front of me, actually speaking, you will, a proof of it that the ice cream is itself not the object of desire is, think that you are going to go for an ice cream right now, and the ice cream is lying in the freezer. And what will happen? Mouth has already started salivating. Smell is already coming. It's going to be mango, it's going to be butterscotch. And you see, ice cream has not come, but the process has already started. So therefore, the desire was within me. It was not in that object. I have wrongly associated that object as the thing that is going to satisfy my desire, while as I have still not seen it. What happens? You see with children, say for example, you go to the fridge and you come to know, oh, ice cream is not there. But how come that you started already tasting it and already started mouth salivating and all that stuff? Why was it happening? because it was a desire within you. But till the time I will keep on seeking satisfaction in the ice cream, it will keep on increasing. So what Sri Yukteswar is saying, that at that instant, how we have learned in Kriya, how we have learned in energization exercises, how to pull the prana inwards, at that instant. And you will feel within your deep spine such bliss, such satisfaction, which is so far greater than any ice cream you've had, that at that instant the pull of ice cream will be gone, if we know how to do it. This is the practice of pratyahara, the ability to pull the prana inwards, to pull the senses inwards at will. And we will be able to overcome every desire we have. We don't have to hide it. If I feel a desire for an ice cream, it's my reality. I just can't say, okay, it's not there. It's not there. It is there. But by doing these practical hints, practical techniques, he is teaching us, do Kriya, do energization exercises, become aware of this flow of prana within you, become aware how the body and the senses withdraw into the spine. And as you become aware, and as you become aware of how to do it at will, implement it in your life. Anything that is holding you is a desire, do it and see it for yourself. So many disciples of Master have overcome such intense, I would say, dependencies. There was one disciple of Master in US who was an alcoholic, and in fact he got his Kriya and he used to keep his peg next to him. He used to do one Kriya and take one sip and do the next and do one. That is the state. And he left, because when he tasted the inner nectar, the inner liquor, the inner bliss of God, it faded away. The actual liquor faded away in comparison. He was in God's bliss. He was drunk in God's love. Why would I need that foolish thing? And this is what he's talking about. We all have to go within. Actual satisfaction is within each one of us. It is right within us. We are carrying it wherever we go. But unfortunately, we keep on looking outside. Maybe this person will love me. Maybe this person is not reciprocating my feelings for him, her. And once you feel God's love, you don't need anyone's love. You don't need anyone's validation. You don't need anything, because you are complete within yourself. So here's wishing each and every one of us that we too, like Sri Yukteswar and Yogananda ji, learn how to be a guru and disciple. Learn how to love each other. It is not an external love, it's an internal contact. We too may learn how to do this and get across this ocean of delusion. Lastly, I'll end with what Guru's love is and how Guru conveys this love to us. It is not the way we humans convey our love. From Autobiography of a Yogi, when Master from his childhood had this feeling, that intense desire that he had to go to Himalayas. We would have read. And actually speaking, now that I look back on it, there was a block placed on him, because had he gone into Himalayas, he would have gone into ecstasy and become a saint, and we would not have had these teachings. So he was blocked. You see, he made many attempts, but he could never succeed. And finally, the story comes is when he meets Sri Yukteswar ji and he decides that we need to go to Kashmir. So he plans 1 year. Sri Yukteswar ji says, for some reason, no, you can't go. Second year, summer holidays, same thing. No, this is there, that is there. The third year, Yogananda ji decides, I will now plan and I'll execute it. So he goes to his father and says, I need 6 passes, railway passes for Kashmir. His father laughs and he says, okay, you want it, here it is. And he gives him a wad of notes. Now he goes to Sri Yukteswar with the passes and says, we will go to Kashmir. I have now, more friends of us are also going. So now we are decided and you also have to come. But Sri Yukteswar is again non-committal. He doesn't say anything. He's taken aback. He says, but you will need a servant. Earlier, the servant of Sri Yukteswar was going along. He was thinking, he is not going to leave Sri Yukteswar. So master goes searching for the servant to a relative of his who refuses. He goes to a third person. The servant runs away from there. And master is not able to go. And he goes back to Sri Yukteswar. And Sri Yukteswar realizes that there is an intense desire in him to go. So he says, okay, your friends can go to the railway station. You just wait here for few minutes and then you can join them. And while master is waiting at the feet of Sri Yukteswar, he suddenly gets up and he realizes he can't walk. He almost faints and falls. And he's at the lap of Sri Yukteswar, who's holding his brow and saying, master is down with Asiatic cholera, which is a fatal disease at that time. The doctor comes and he sees the symptom and he says, yes, you've got Asiatic cholera. And he goes for getting certain confirmation and medicines. And that is the time master says to his guru, I'm sorry, I tried to force my will. I now surrender my will at your feet. Whatever you say will be my destiny. And that moment, Sri Yukteswar says, now you've understood and you are cured. The doctor comes back and the symptoms are gone. In 2 days' time, they do go to Kashmir. But the final of the story is, actually Sri Yukteswar took that karma on him. Do you know what the story ended? Master had to come back and Sri Yukteswar fell sick. In fact, he felt so sick that he almost died. That is the love of a guru. He is overseeing everything. Surrender. Surrender is the only thing. Leave everything. Everything will turn out to the best. So once again, happy birthday to Sri Yukteswar ji, and thank you so much.